Okay, question is it actually working? Found another 10 or 15 different areas. Let's see here. I don't think it's working. Working there. Let's see. Hey, look at that. It works in this channel now. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to tell the other one. Hopefully, those guys all see it. So we can get everybody over here. So I don't know what happened there, guys. Sorry about that. It's really acting funny. So, as you can see, I changed things up a little bit. I decided to put my down view camera over to the printer that I got printing real quick. It's the Silva SD01. So, it's printing Moon City. I'll be in camera in just a second here. I'll say I'm at the desktop. Makes for a heck of a start to the day again. Wow. It's been one of them weeks. Okay, now let's see if I can get it over here. Yeah, see? The channel it originally gave me, or the video it originally gave me, was not working. There we go. Okay, there we go. You can't hear anything? Let me double check. I had it all the way up. Oh, just my luck. I had it all the way up, so because the batteries died. If you guys remember, last week batteries died on my mic. All the way up there. Let's check the desktop settings. It says here everything's good. It's way up. If I go up any more, it's gonna go into yellow. So. Yeah, everything's almost turned all the way up. These should be good. Let's see here. I can't see what that thing is. I put brand new batteries in it. Literally like 10 minutes before the stream was supposed to start. Let's check here. See, I got this one. Turn the audio off. Make sure I don't have audio coming out of my computer. You guys hear anything now? I wish the app here would let me. App won't let me change anything on the other side here. Thank you, Minnesota Maker. I say it might just be that I got everything down. I don't know. Let's see. It's been my week. I tell you guys. Started out the week with finding out my dad's trailer was stolen. So that really not too fun. So it's been a long week. Everything says it's all the way up. So. Try not to blast everybody that's hearing fine, but I want the people that can't hear to hear good, so. Okay, here. And today I decided not to turn on the TV for YouTube. I brought my laptop over here, so my new one. finally getting it fully set up, running, so I can see chat a little quicker and a little better here. So is the audio still low for a lot of you guys? I can hear it fine on my laptop here, so. Anyway, other than having my dad's trailer getting stolen, or what was my dad's trailer, working a bunch, I haven't done a whole lot. Interesting, Ronnie. I wonder why it made a difference sitting down, because computer's all the way over there with the receiver on it. So I haven't done a whole lot of printing. I decided to go ahead and so we'll just do a quick Moon City up. That way I have something going on so you guys can see it. And wife really enjoys the big one I did, so I figured I'd do a small one for somebody else. Done some tuning, but not much. Like I said, I'm dealing with my trailer getting stolen and everything. I kind of decided to take a break for a couple of days. No, actually, the trailer was at a friend's shop. I got a skid steer and trade a while back, and it has a small hydraulic leak, so I took it over to his shop, unloaded the skid steer, and parked the trailer there. Normally, I have a lock on it, but the lock got broke, so I took it off, or cut it off, and was headed back there like 2 days later to put a new lock on because I had to go get a new lock, and the trailer was gone. So I was not able to put the lock on. Is that any better? Let me check. I bet you that's probably it. It has a. Sorry, that might be a little bit loud. There we go. Hey, Craig. Sorry, guys, if I didn't mention you by name earlier. I'm getting frustrated with getting everything turned on and working. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's probably a big part of it. This mic has a uh, flat spot in it where the mic is at, so that could be very well what it is. So, but anyway, what's everybody got going on? I say my week has been dealing with the trailer and work. I worked almost 7 hours today out there the gas wells I work at, weed eating and trimming some brush back. So, say, I've only got one printer printing because my slicer's all the way over there right now. Originally, I was gonna set up with the desktop, but I didn't have time to get everything moved around and rearranged, so I just went with a normal setup over here. I say I didn't even have time to do any slicing, but it's been running an hour. It's 1% done. It says I think S3D said it's a 33-hour print. Got a print going on, Ronnie, and imagination to form. Head hurts. Yeah, I know how that is. I've had allergies. Recently, I started gaining allergies that I've never had in my life, and they decided to come up. Cool, Craig. I'll have to post pictures when you get it done. So hopefully, I'm supposed to have a printer coming today, and the original plan was to unbox it and put it together, but the UPS decided to lose it. First time that UPS has ever lost one, so we'll have to see what happens. Cool, Sean. So you're gonna get it done in time for Earth? Yeah, Brian, that is the SVO one. You can kind of see it over my shoulder here, going. Um, it's printing Moon City at 150 millimeters a second, with Area 1 white PLA. I think that's what that is. Yep, Area 1 white PLA. And it's scaled at 120%. Oh, that sucks, Sean. Yeah. My package actually was a printer from through Amazon, and Amazon scanned it at their warehouse for UPS, but UPS says they've never got it. So I am pretty sure I'm not going to get that printer. Ow, I got a thorn in my finger from today. Probably mesquite. I was cutting out a bunch of mesquites in my work areas. Huh, Brian, mine's been really good actually. The SVO1, I actually like it. My only complaint about it is a tiny bit loud. My understanding is they're working on a quiet board for it, but this is a Creality board, so it shouldn't be too bad to get the new quiet board on it. So, then I just got a new video card for the desktop dropped off. My brother gave me one of his older ones, so that's gonna be my project for tomorrow. So, so that, and hopefully I'll get some time to do some tuning. I actually want to get printing more with the Sapphire Pro here. Actually, mine isn't the case fan that's loud. It's actually just the whole printing. Each axis moving is a little bit loud. Most of my printers are real quiet. Well, it's a Meanswell power supply in them, so it shouldn't have any problems with noise on it, honestly. I know they've got a 4020 blower inside it, so I haven't seen much about the SKR minis yet. I've got the SKR 1.3 to install on the CR10 S5 over there, but haven't done it. Now, see, I haven't actually looked at it much. It's never been a problem. I normally don't pay attention to the printers, but with it being right here behind me, I noticed the sound of it a little more. That, and after printing with the Sapphire Pro, this has a quiet. It's got the MKS Robin with 2208s in it. This thing runs absolutely silent. Hey, Rover. So once I got that one printing the other day, uh, I was really impressed how quiet it is. But I used a the filament that came with it originally, and I don't think it was that good. I know they're switching filaments for the Sapphires and Sapphire Pro samples because they're just not rolled as good and everything like that. So, but yeah, this Sapphire here, it is absolutely silent. It's been really nice. I'm supposed to get new lead screws and brass nuts for the Ender 5 Plus today, but they didn't come in. They're supposed to be in tomorrow now. So, hey, Jake from State Farm. Yeah, I bet in a condo they get loud. This my office is actually attached to the house. It was a two-story addition I did a couple of years ago. Um, I got part of my splinter out. That so it's an old exterior wall here, and then the second floor right above me is my wife's craft room. Well, enjoy dinner there, Brian. Wife's actually making food right now. That's probably gonna be the issue with this stream being the time it is. My wife gets off work at 5, gets home, and usually doesn't necessarily have time to get dinner cooked or whatever in time for me to eat. Now, my cats actually aren't allowed inside anymore. We have 3 cats now, and well, Stray just showed up a while back and has been kind of living here, so kind of have 4. But we got 2 dogs, and dogs are allowed in, but cats aren't. One of them decided it was gonna mark my wife's leg one day, so they're no longer allowed in the house. Now I was supposed to be getting my Everyone Thinker S in today, but like I said, UPS lost that. I've got. I was supposed to be getting the TiVo Tarantula Pro, but I think I'm gonna wait and get their new resin printer instead. So we'll see. Events. So I'll say. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I just hit 200 yesterday, and it's actually a guy I met with a veterans program. I don't know why or how he looked me up, but he did. I thought that was pretty cool. So that finger spot is bothering me. Of course, when I got home and showered and all that, I didn't put my regular pants back on with a knife on it, so. Yeah. Oh well. While the count's cool to watch, yeah, it don't matter that much. And supposedly the little ticker up there in the corner is supposed to be active live. So thanks, Rover. Yeah, hopefully, guys, I'm gonna have the rest of the giveaway next week, but I gotta get time to get in and get the last of the bugs worked out because as we saw today, for some reason, YouTube and Streamlabs is fighting me a lot. It worked fine last week. It was working great 10 minutes earlier, and I got my remote working, my phone working as remote for Streamlabs, so I can change it out. But we're over 1,000 would be kind of cool. But heck, I was ecstatic that I hit two. I've already hit 200. So, hey, Robbie Mac, man, nice to see you over here in this stream instead of always meeting you at the hangout. Not much going on tonight. I got one thing printing, just a Moon City. Just had something printing in the background here. Like I say, I printed a huge one. It took over a spool of filament. I think it was 300. and 50 millimeters tall. And this one's just 120% scale. I had planned on starting it this morning, but got a little bit of a late start, so just kind of got it started about an hour before the stream started. Here, matter of fact, let's go. That might be a little more interesting to watch. At least you can see something a little different. Let's say it's a Air One White PLA printing at 215 degrees on the hot end, 55 on the bed, 150 millimeter print speed, and it was done by S3D, and it says it was 33-hour print. We're an hour and 41 minutes in at 2%, so yeah, it's gonna be pretty close. You never know though. And I got the swivel fairly well dialed in. Let's see here. Where's the? Let's see if I can find the piece I did for it. Huh? Where is that? I got the swivel fairly well dialed in, and then I did the TiVo some this week too. See, you can. This is the one off the TiVo. Little bit of bridging needs work, but not bad. So that's Area One marble filament on that one. Yeah, imagination form. I actually had more followers and subs than I thought originally when I didn't have any real content. I have a couple of videos up that were print speeds and things like that. What did I just knock off? But I say a couple of print speed videos, and then the office tour kind of spiked everything up a little bit. That's funny, Rover. A video of a dog's got more hits. Tech Titan, I actually have PEI on several printers. It's not necessarily Build Talk name brand or whatever. This is off the. It's Area One Moflex, and I actually haven't cleaned it yet. I don't think I've even done more than wipe my hands across it. You know, the thing everybody gets onto people for, putting your hands on it on print surfaces. Um, but Isopropyl should work good. And then if prints quit sticking to the PEI, uh, you can always use steel wool, like 4/0 steel wool, rub across it, and then isopropyl. Um, Now, one thing to know from what I've found or been told, I haven't actually tried it, is you don't print PETG on. Oh, look at that small spot caught. You don't print PETG on it. I want the parts cooling fan. I got a little curl up on the edge here. And parts cooling fan's working. It just that one spot for some reason want to curl. You Windex. Put Windex on it would help. Yeah, I've got quite a few videos I need to be doing, but mostly I keep getting sidetracked with other things. I want to do a series on tuning the slicer and printer. Everybody does calibrations and tunings, but I tend to do things a little bit different than most, I would think. So, I mean, when I calibrated the swivel, it was literally uh, use my Tronxy X5S profile, change the print area, and slice the item and print it with it. It went so good, that's what I did this time when it came up. Hey, Don. Now I say, I still got to start printing the rest of my spectral suit. Hopefully, I'll get to that starting this week, but I gotta really make sure everything's tuned. Hi, RCCNC. RCCNC. Wow, that name is a tongue twister there. Um, well, Tech Titan, from what I've read, you can use the PEI sheets, beds, no problem. You just wanna um, use Windex on them first. Kind of acts like a release agent, like hairspray does for the glass and all. So, as a matter of fact, the ones I use are the same thing I gave away a couple of, and got a bunch more to give away during the next giveaway section. They're Air One Mothlex, so I said I haven't printed PETG with them yet. Hi, Kit. Look at that crud on the bed. Sure shows up in the video. I have never been very good at Fusion 360. Hi, Raz. It's actually Moon City. It's a 120% scale Moon City, or actually, I think they call it Moon City V2 because they changed something. Well, so far I've not worn out any of my uh, lattice glass yet, but I figure it's gonna happen. I usually just use normal glass from the local glass shop. I happen to a quarter-inch sheet. Matter of fact, I got one sitting here for 220 bed. I'll grab. Oh nope, that's not. Oh, it's still upstairs. That's why. The rest of them are taped on. That's an old one. Somebody else gave me. Yeah, I need to try Fusion 360 again now that my computers are upgraded. Especially desktop. I'm not worried about it being a resource hog. I think right now I have Streamlabs running. I have S3D running, and probably about 25 tabs on Chrome, and I'm maybe at 3% of the RAM use, and I think 19% of the CPU. It's Moon City, Raz. I'll switch to the other one. We'll transition over to that and see if it clears it. See, that clears it up there. I can switch it back. I just figure you guys would enjoy watching the printer print more than just me sitting here BSing. And hey, Llama. No, just kind of hanging out here tonight, guys. Like I said, I was planning on doing the printer unboxing and build, but it didn't show up. And then the lead screws for my Ender 5 Plus will be here tomorrow instead of today. So, what did I do with those clippers? There's a pair. Just grab one here. This splinter's driving me crazy. Mesquite thorn or something, I think. Yeah, see, my problem is I find Tinkercad just real easy and quick. I need to get into Fusion 360 to be able to do more intricate designs, and some of the features that are not in 360 or not in Tinkercad or in 360, like being able to chamfer all the edges. A lot easier in 360. Yeah, see that chat window does seem froze. Let me go to the desktop. I'm gonna switch you guys over to the printer here real quick while I run to the desktop and see if we can't get the chat box unfroze. The one that's actually in the video stream itself. Okay, I'll see. Does it work? Waiting to see if it moves at all. It doesn't look like it. Ah, looks like I'm finally getting to update. Okay, here. We'll just go that way. Yep. Don't kick the camera stand. Okay, did it update ever here on the actual thing? Looks like a little bit, but not completely. Ah, there it is. I just like Tinkercad because how easy it is. To me, that's the benefit of Tinkercad. Um, it's like Techie Dad's son is actually using Tinkercad and becoming pretty proficient at it. Oh, look at that. I mentioned Techie Dad and he shows up. Hey, Brendan. It was a little bit of a rough start today. YouTube and Streamlabs fighting, but at least I got it figured out. I'd like to just get this darn spot my finger quit bothering me, so I quit picking at it. I'm impressed that this is actually growing pretty good. Once I got the one spot out of it, where it wanted to curl. One thing about being direct drive that the Sobel SV1 is be hard to add a second fan to the other side. Maybe somebody that's good with fusion or something can come up with one to bring it in from this other side here. It'd be kind of neat. Oh, Rover, if you need to get some sleep, man, go get some sleep. So I know how it is. A lot of times I'll do that where I won't sleep very much. Went many, many years not sleeping. And now a lot of times if I'm not sleeping, it's because I'm dealing with people in China a lot, talking with them. I like that printer. It's pretty cool. Hi, Matt Hatter. So what else has everybody got going on? I say I know a few of you got projects printing right now. We talked about so I haven't printed my spectral suit yet stuff yet because I just don't want to do it until I'm completely tuned. So I say that's why I'm printing Moon City here. Now I got a few. I still got. I say I got the TiVo decently dialed in now. First layer is nice and shiny, but I see a little bit of lines in it, but it feels smooth, so probably just me being extra picky. And then I gotta work on the bridging setup. I think I need to speed up the bridging multiplier a little bit. Because it seems to have a little bit of a sag on it. And this time, I'm saving all my profiles. I'm going to export them all afterward. But Robbie Mack actually helped me, pointing out that you can actually import G-code into S3D as your FFF, and it will pull the settings that it can off of that. So that's pretty cool. I actually did that on the Sapphire Pro. I took the factory G-code. ACG, man. Not much tonight. We're just kind of hanging out talking. Said I was going to be unboxing a printer, but it didn't show up today. So we're just hanging out talking and watching a Moon City print. Spare MK3 parts, huh? Alien probe PEG. I'm actually gonna have to get some probed. I gotta get some doctor's film, and I actually want to try it, uh, both as PLA and as PETG. I mean, I go through enough filament. I want to try it. Love having all the different color options. Got running low. Like I said, the shipment should have been in, but I don't know. I hadn't checked on it. Plenty of yellow. Yeah, plenty of yellow PETG. I've got. Let's TPU. I've got 4, 5, 9 spools of TPU right now. I got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 4, 26, 32, 33. I got 33 PLA over here, plus what's over there. And then I've got, looks like about 3 spools or 4 spools of ABS. So, definitely a bit low. I don't know what's in the other boxes. Need to mark them all better. Eventually, I gotta get all these shelves filled. But I think when I built the shelves, mathematically they'll hold 840 spools or something like that. So it'll take a while to do that. Yeah, Imagination 4 and 5 rolls wouldn't last me that long. Not normally. The last month and a half, it would have lasted me a while. I think I've only printed like maybe 2 spools total in the month and a half. But usually I'll go through. No, it hadn't been a month and a half. Been about a month. Because about a week before the first live stream, I slowed down printing to almost no printing just to get ready, get the office set up, get everything tested, and then Lightning taking out my desktop kind of threw me off for a while again. Bronze, huh? Star Lord Necklace Project. I've got a spool of bronze up there. I think it's bronze. It's a I'm lucky bronze, I believe. What they call it? It's kind of to me, it's more of a, no, they call it a copper. But to me, that is a bronze. It's kind of a silk brown. I don't have any of the stuff I printed with it yet over here. They're still at my wife's work. Her desk is covered with the little knickknacks that I printed for her. I also got to get some more silk silver. So I'm gonna print my spectral suit in silk silver. That way, when I sand it down and get it painted, I can scuff it and it'll pull the silver out to look more like a metal. That print really turned out bad. Oh well, it'll go on the shelf. RCCNC, RCCNC. It's Moon City uh, V2. So one day when I get Streamlabs to cooperate, I'll put more cameras on more of the printers. I may wind up having to actually do Octoprint just to be able to put more cameras and more printers out. I've got 13 of the small cameras, and then I've got the 920, the 260 as well. So this is actually the second Moon City I've ever printed. The first one was, like I said, it was massive. I scaled it to completely fill the X5S 400 here. That's 330 by 330 by 400. It was 350, 380 millimeters tall. I went a little short of the 400 because of the didn't want to use a quarter. I have to put a quarter spool in. I didn't have it, so I went with what I had maxed out, and I printed an Arial and Rainbow. I figure since I'm sitting here, I'm gonna mess with this video card I was just giving my brother gave me real quick. Has a brace on the side for his computer case, but not mine is a toolless case with braces built in already. Thing's got a heck of a fan. Make a heck of a hot and cooling fan, wouldn't it? Look at the size of that fan. Like a heck of a hot end fan. I actually want to do the ones myself. I haven't done them. And then I've got one group, and a lot of you saw that last week. That's the only Groot I got. He was sample G code on the Alpha Wise. My wife painted him up. So we'll see how long he stays there. Now, if my wife figured out I can print a sonic screwdriver, I'd probably have to print a bunch of them. Here, move him out of the way so you can see a little bit. There, get knocked off, but still. Watch out for the print head there, Groot. Here we go. Yeah, my wife did a great job painting that one. It turned out great. I say it was the one of the sample G codes on the Alpha Wise U20. The only thing I did not like about it was on a raft. All of their prints were on rafts. They gave the Groot, which was printed with white, and then wife painted it. and then uh, ZQ, the XYZ cube, calibration cube, a bullet, and something else. Oh, a cat. A little cat. That's what came on it. And that turned out pretty neat. The bullet did, but it's the problem with them is they were all on rafts. Wow, that's hard to get a picture of the like it's a white filament. But just something different. That's cool. I see. What are you gonna have it doing? Light up, spin, things like that on the screwdriver, or parts light up or move. So I actually haven't added any electronics or anything to the things I've printed yet, other than my daughter's violin. I printed the electric violin off of Thingiverse for. That's the only thing I've ever added anything to. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, my wife's a big Doctor Who fan. She's got a whole bookcase. Well, normally in the living room, but with the remodel, I didn't get it put back there yet. She's actually got most of it packed away right now of Doctor Who stuff. She's got every season on DVD that is available. No, the Groot is actually white filament there, Craig. See, I would think the sound clips would be easy enough to find under like ringtones. Yeah, that's the sample white filament that came with the Alpha Wise printer on for Groot. Oh, I got a ton of stuff, a ton of projects to get finished up here before too long. I've got three of the heart-shaped wood boxes to finish sitting here. That's some resin prints I probably won't ever do anything with, but put on a shelf. Thank you, Craig. My wife actually painted it. Well, imagination for my wife is like I said, is a big Doctor Who fan, and one of the first things I ever designed was a phone case for her phone at the time. I think it's an LG G4 that was a tortoise. And when you opened it up, her background was Matt standing inside the TARDIS, so it really looked cool. And I think she actually went and found some ringtones and things that were Doctor Who for all the alarms and messages and things like that. So resin is a lot of fun. I actually really enjoy it. It is a bit messy. I'm a little bit one of those oddballs. My cleaning station is a Rubbermaid tub with about a full bottle of alcohol in it. I slide the part off the plate straight into the alcohol and I shake it around and I go rinse it in the sink. Um, that Groot is actually off of the Alpha Wise printer. I believe it's off Thingiverse, but I don't know. Like I said, Alpha Wise came with it as a sample G code. I figure before the print gets too large, he's gonna get knocked off. We'll see how long he can ride. As long as he doesn't get knocked off and hit against the screen, cause it to move, I'll be okay. Hey Tina, weren't you building fence last week, Tina? Raz, I don't have the STL with it. I've got there's a sample G code, and the printer is a crud. I think it's 400 by 400. Yeah, it's 400 by 400 by 5 or 600. So it would you'd have to go in and edit the G code itself so it would fit your build area and not go off your build plate. Oh, I know how it is, Tina. I've been remodeling my house for about 9 months now. Raz, you should be able to find the Groot on Thingiverse. There was quite a few of them. That or my mini factory, I think, had them. Uh, I've seen them. I don't have my bookmarks moved over to this computer yet. Otherwise, I could give you a bookmark. I think I saved one. Um, and this is the planter. I think that's what this is. It's called because it's got the hollow head on him. It's funny having the bed warm. He's picking him up and he's warm. Hey, Mr. Buttram. So, the whole house. I say my house is fairly large, but I'm remodeling about 2,200 square feet. Um, tore out a guest bedroom as my daughter's room. Um, since she lives with her mom mostly. And moving it, I actually added it to the living room, and then I'm taking an old storage room in the hallway and converting it the uh, to her room instead. So, and then I took a closet that had the furnace in it and made it into the laundry room, and took the hallway out, put it into the bathroom and the one room now bedroom, and I gutted the kitchen. And what was our living room is now kitchen and dining room area. And then this, my office here was my workshop, and I built that. I converted it into my office. Thank you, boy. Like I said, my wife was cooking tonight. Ooh, I think it's a Thai food is what she made tonight. So, so you guys have to forgive me. Well, I'm gonna eat a little bit of it while it's hot. But you're watching the printer mostly anyway. Print group moving around. Here, I see. I've got somebody else to keep him company. Yeah, let's see. I think she might. Yeah, she's wobbling. Yeah, base on that one must not be perfectly flat. That's better. There. I can't blame Groot. This is a recipe she found. We had one of those sauce packets. Um, I don't eat anything out of the box or pretty much pre-made with all the medical issues I had, my throat not working all the time. So uh, we sometimes will find some spice packets or seasoning packets that are pre-made, but that's about it. And she found a recipe for one of them I really liked. And gonna try it ourselves. I'm gonna have to get it a minute. It's still really hot. Well, there's another resin print. I keep turning the wrong way. I can't see what the camera sees. This one I printed actually two of. I printed one for my wife and one for my daughter. She's so hard to get detail. Harley Quinn got bumped, but even her uh, colors and stuff, you can really see the detail in because she's clear. She's hard to see. That was done on my little printer there. I say there was quite a few Groots originally. I know there's a teenage Groot. There's Santex has one or two Groots where he's trying to push the button with Rocket. Um, then I've seen a teenage Groot, little baby Groot. I've seen the planter Groot, which is what this one is, and one that's not planter, his head's full. Resin prints can be very brittle. I'm using just pure, I guess it would be considered pure resin, whatever, normal resin, but there is a flexible resin as well. Um, and I don't have any, never have. I bought 4 kilograms of Bucktown resin. So I hadn't seen the dancing Groot. That ought to be kind of neat. But the thing with resin is really it's fairly brittle. And you don't want to like the Sailor Moon I printed for my wife. She put it in her office, and the cat came by and knocked it off, and it fell on the foam floor. I got her floor is the same as mine down here. It's the 2 foot square foam from Harbor Freight. That's a half-inch thick. Well, it fell onto that and it broke the hair. I'm still really new at resin printers. I've got mine. I've had it 4 months. I'm waiting on a new LCD screen because I changed out the uh, LED array in it. The factory had done an upgrade, and I got the upgrade set up from them. And when I did, I made the mistake of accidentally tearing my LCD screen up, so it won't print right now. I just wasn't happy with the old array that was on it, the way the LEDs were. So I spent so much money on filament stuff. I tend to be a little bit broke for the most part. So I when it comes to my resin, I bought uh the Bucktown because it's $100 for 4 kilograms of clear resin. You can get it colored, but Filament One makes a coloring kit, a dye kit for it, and I bought that. It was like $20, and it'll do all 4 kilograms of resin in any color I want and custom tint it. I think the one bottle that comes of each color that comes in it will do 1 kilogram. The black will make it midnight black even. So I've not used any of the coloring yet, though. I'm impressed that Groot's still staying on because it moves at a good clip on occasion, and he hasn't moved at all. But say right now he's the only thing I got printing, or it's the only thing I got printing is the Moon City and Groot watching. See, I don't think I got anything sliced on the X5 that'll print be cool to print. Let's see what we got here. I got a yellow idle on it. No, there we go. Let's see how she'll work. I don't even know which size it is. No imagination form for drones or something like that because of how much they'll get beat up. I would say you'd want to put in the they've got like a TPU resin, a flexible resin, and you mix it 40 or 50% with your normal resin, and it should be fine because that'll give it the resistance. Otherwise, I mean, you could probably go more, but I think that is like I want to say it's $80 or $90 a kilogram. It's expensive. But the thing with resin is you don't really waste much. Your supports are your only waste, and you get away with far less supports on resin printers than you do FDMs. I've seen several people in the Forward 3D Printing group, Facebook group, that have done resins, a lot of resin printing, and then brought up the flexible resin mix, so you get a stiff but resilient print out of it. So, like the Harley Quinn that I had up in the picture, excuse me, the Harley Quinn I had up in the picture, and Catwoman. Did it again. Turn around backwards. I can't see what the Catwoman here. I would pretty much not have a problem dropping other than to break her hair. But she's solid. I mean, if I hit her just right, it might break her arm off or something. But really, I don't think there's any. I gotta do more cleanup on her. Oh no, not much sanding. You can see here on her on doing it again on Catwoman. There's a little bit of spot here that I need to sand a little more, but her hands are still good. I've got Venom I pulled out, or not Venom, Black Panther I pulled out the other day and showed off last stream. Here he is. And with this, I didn't hardly do any, okay? Here is an FDM, and almost the same exact scale in resin. Now, I will say the resin turns out a little cleaner up around the necklace area. Really, this clear resin makes it really hard. And then the claws are sharp. I mean, you can actually stab yourself with the claws. They're so sharp. So, resin is, when it comes to fine detail, it's definitely the way to go. You could probably get away with um, a smaller nozzle on FDM, but really not, you don't get the detail out of it. And resin printers, the cool thing about them is if you print one small item or you print a whole build plate full of the same item, it'll take the exact same amount of time. Tina, PLA gets brittle before printing, mainly because what it is moving and all that. But once it's printed, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, it might become brittle to a hammer afterward, but no different than anything else. I mean, I don't think I've got any prints in here that are that old right now. About 6 months, year old. My wife kept all my old Adelinas that are 2.5, 3 years old, and I would say they're the same strength as they were when I printed them. Oh, my Death Eater's mask is probably 2 years old, and I mean, heck, here, let me get back to the remote app here. Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay, so that was printed about 2.5 years ago. It doesn't get any more brittle, I would say, than when it's printed. I mean, it's just a, it's just when it's in the pre-printed form. I think it's mainly because of the way we have it moving around and things that it becomes brittle. This mask it's not thin, but it's also not that thick. I mean, it's you can see finger in there for scale, so it's probably about 5 millimeters thick. And you saw it just beating on the desk, so the counter there. Yeah, Groot's just hanging out. I may actually have to move him around randomly in the office here to have him watching Prince. Make him a staple in my videos or something. I don't know. As a matter of fact, when we talk about the resin printer, I asked Trunksy about my screen, and they just moved to a bigger factory. They spent 10 days moving, so it didn't get shipped yet. So, I'll enjoy, Craig. So I'm still munching on dinner a little bit here, since you guys saw when it got dropped off, or might have if you saw the little screen. Go figure, my remote just died on my app. Decided it didn't want to connect to my desktop 20 feet over. 5S is done. Nope. Let's see. What did it go to? It actually took a longer time than normal. I checked the power supply. Yellow PLA. That's probably Pride line. Yep. That's usually most of my filaments are Pride line. Where's my oil? I don't know when I oiled that filament last. What the heck did I do with my oil? Oh, behind the box. Oh, it's good. There we go. There. Now we got 2 printers printing. Only got the one other camera that can work besides my main one, so I may try to move it back and forth to show you guys a little bit on the other camera. Oh, thank you, Francisco. Oh, there it goes. I said the counter hadn't counted up there. I'd say tonight's just gonna be a slow night for what all's going on. Let's see here. Give it a minute. Once it finishes the first layer, this will tell us to the minute how much time we have to wait. Maybe it'll finish during the stream. Because this Adelina should be 150 millimeters a second. I should be able to speed it up a bit. The Sapphire Pro, I actually got sped up to 250 millimeters a second print speed. Thanks, CNX. Groot was painted by my wife. So. Yeah, measuring form. I've actually been printing, and my printer's over to 50-teen blower fans. They're so much quieter than the 4010 blowers and stuff, but with all the printers I got, yeah, it hasn't happened. Cost more, and takes a lot of time to switch everything. So most of my printers actually are fairly well stocked right now. Thank you. Let's see here. Oh, it says Adelina take 29 hours. Ah, that's not right. Okay, it's falling. 29 hours, 27 minutes, 16 minutes, 13 minutes, 28 hours, 24 minutes. Yeah, it's falling real quick. And it just hit full speed. Meh, looking good. Considering I haven't printed with this printer in. But, yeah, that's my SVO1. It's the SVO1 printing with Everyone White PLA, 150 millimeters print speed, and millimeters a second print speed. 215 on temp, and for the hot end, 55 on the bed. Huh, what are my fans at 70%? I'm gonna have to check that out. I might have it updated on my. That's probably why the edge is curling. I had a little bit of an edge curl earlier. There we go. There we go. Much better. Couple of there. So, most of my printers are pretty fast. I don't. I believe in at least finding out what close to the max is. Yeah, I just turned the fan on the SVO1 print up to 100%. When Adelina here gets up a little bit, I might try to move the camera up so you guys can see her because it's moving. I haven't printed any of the Thor stuff. Actually, I haven't printed much of the Avengers things or anything like that. Groot's the only one I've printed out of any of the more common designs. Now, CNX, is that the Akira option, isn't it? The make overhangs printable? Yeah, see, I've seen pictures and posts about that where sometimes it'll actually really mess up a print. I wonder why Streamlabs deleted the post. Uh, what the heck? That's not foul language. Streamlabs? Ugh. Yeah, no joke. That's funny. The bad thing is, when Streamlabs delete it, it doesn't have any way for me to turn it back on. Yeah, see, I don't even remember what the people were printing. It's just one of the Facebook groups that were talking about that. Make overhangs printable. It's going good, Brian. I see you in. We're just hanging out, talking. I say I was gonna unbox a printer tonight, and put it together, but it got lost in shipping, quite literally. So instead, we're sitting back watching Moon City V2 print, and I got an Adelina started that I'll move the camera to or at least show it off here in a little bit. Man, allergy. I did a bunch of weed eating again today. I gotta quit doing that on Wednesdays. So actually, Measure Storm, I think it was the Amazon person because it was ordered through Amazon. So, and it was scanned at the Amazon warehouse to the UPS system, but UPS never received it at their warehouse. They say. So I have a feeling it was the Amazon person that somebody's family member had a birthday, so they got a nice gift. Because I'm guessing it was probably done up like the Sapphire Pro box here. I gotta clean this area out. Got a trash can over here, but boxes don't fit in it. The Sapphire Pro box, when they did, when they put their boxes together, tell you what, no fear of marking it whatsoever. Even the tape is marked with with what it is, who made it. And I think the only thing not marked is the bottom of the box. Brian, I'm printing a Moon City V2 and on the Sobel SV01, and then I just really just started Adelina on the Tronxy X5S behind me. No, I finally got to where supports don't bother me. I used to avoid supports at all cost. I wouldn't print a model if it required supports there for a while. But I finally get them dialed in. Well, had them all dialed in before uh, before the lightning took out my slicer. But now that I got it dialed in, or had it dialed in, I have a good idea of what it was. Like I use um, minus point 0.2 on my reinsertion distance for retract, and then my offset for supports is 0.42. My electric bill with the printers running is only about $40 a month higher than without them running. This month, electric bill was $352. And that's with the printers mostly off, honestly, because of the lightning and everything in the last month. The month before was 380, 384 something. But also, a lot of that depends on the temperature outside. My house is fairly large, and I've got central heat and air in most of it. But I've got a heat pump in here and a heat pump on the second floor above me in my wife's craft room. But when it's 105 to 115 outside, and you keep the house at, well, the main house is 73 now, and my office in here is 75 year round. Now, Craig, you may say, ouch, it's a big bill, but at the same time, my house is 4,200 square feet. This office is 700 square feet by itself. So, and I don't mind. I'd rather pay a high electric bill than to be uncomfortable in my own house. If I have to wear a coat, then it's too cold. And if I'm stripping down into t-shirt and shorts because I'm too hot, then it's too hot. So, hey John. So I say I don't mind paying a little more to be comfortable. And I also don't. I've got the smart thermostat in the house. Um, The heat pumps are both Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, so I can control them from anywhere and set them by timers and all that, and I don't do it. Because I never know, like my work today, I could have completed work in about 3 hours. Instead, yeah, Mr. Butcher, like I said, I got lucky. My house is fairly large, but I added on this office and the second floor here, which is just over 1,200 square feet. Built it all myself, from digging the slab for the foundation, pouring the concrete, building the whole structure, wiring the HVAC, everything all by myself. So, um, um, Techie Dad, the only one I've got that I know has baby stepping or Z baby stepping on it at all is the Soval here actually, and it does 0.099 plus or minus, and then 0.199, 0.299. So, John, the uh, Soval here, SVO1. This is all factory. The only thing I added to it, you can't even see in the video. My hand gets in the way. Is the filament out sensor here? I'll move the camera up a tiny bit. The filament runout sensor right here. I built this bracket out of acrylic, just a piece of acrylic I had sitting here from one of the printers to mount the filament sensor because normally it's at the top of the frame. Otherwise, this is 100% factory. I mean, I've not even taken the hot end apart on it. So, and it works really nice on this one. I mean, this is printing at 150 millimeters a second, so I can't complain. Ryan, it was today was cool. I think it hit 95 here, but I live in North Texas, Northwest Texas. 91. Today's high was 91. Uh, yeah, imagination form. I bet the Marlin can do it. This is Marlin on the Solval SVO1, but their factory setup is 0.099. And if you stop and let it accept it and do it again, you can do it 0.099 each time. So I actually used it today on this print for the first time in a long time. I lowered it down 0.099 because it's just a tiny, tiny bit too high. It looks like the X5S settled down and it knows it's got 11 hours 46 minutes left to print this Adelina. Yeah, Mr. Retro, my first house was 500 square feet. 500 square feet, three bed, one bath, no dining room whatsoever. So, well, John, not necessarily. You might not have done it wrong. You just didn't do it the way that this one is. There's several different ones. Let's see here. How's Adelina doing? I doubt she takes 11 hours. Okay. Oh, I can't switch. Well, I'm gonna try not to make you guys sick, but we'll move the camera up here. See if I can't show you the. The X5S gets up and moves. And the only thing this X5S, it's X5SA that I made into an X5ST, and then I put a E3D clone and a 5015 blower on it, but I run it just the same, literally exact same settings when it was factory X5S, including the hot end. Yeah, like I said, my remote died, so or lost connection, so. Let's see if it'll reconnect. Hey, it reconnected. Go figure. I moved the camera around. Take a chance of getting you guys seasick, motion sickness. Well, John, I've actually seen quite a few like that. Um, I've actually seen quite a few that it was backwards like that, and really, if it works, I wouldn't change it. But yeah, this one does have the big gear going through the gantry. Mr. Bushman, I don't have a single volcano set up at all. I have not found a need for them. Yeah, give me a sec, John. I'll see if I can move it better for you, a better view. Well, you can see. Now, all it is when they mounted the extruder, they put the hole through the gantry. Come on, get straight in the slot. They put the hole through the gantry for the gear, and then the spacers are probably 4 millimeters because that's about what this acrylic is, um, and it works. So yeah, I say there. That's one thing about it. Like Mr. Buttram says, there are left and right-handed uh, extruders. All of them I've seen have been left or right-handed. Even the BMGs. My X5S is running a BMG. I did upgrade that with Capricorn before this last tune. Oh, I think my need to tighten my extruder mount up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This one doesn't even have the eccentric net yet. So yeah, you can. Well, what printer are you looking at? Or are you putting it on, John? Oh, here. Let me grab the calipers. I'll find out how thick it is. Find out how thick that acrylic is, because literally I just took a piece of acrylic that was sitting here, and I marked off the oop, knocking stuff off my shelf from earlier. I took a piece of acrylic that I said was sitting here, marked off where I needed it close, drilled some holes, and whacked a hole in it. Yeah, 5 millimeter. So, ANET E10. Techie Dad, I think, had a E10. I don't know what the gantry plate looks like on the E10, or the X carriage plate. So, I believe it's the same MK8, 7 MK8 hot end as like the Ender 3, the Tronxies, because most of them use that. So, okay, if you're making a new gantry frame anyway, then you might just, I say, if you want to flip it around like that one is, like with the slot through it, and add the 5 millimeter offset. Okay, take it. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was same as the CR10. CR10, Ender 3, they're all the same gantries, or really close. No, most of your gantries and your carriage mounts don't need to be very thick. They don't need to be very robust. Um, I say, let's see, out of the, I bet you I could take the mount off of my Alpha Wise U20 and put it on my Ender 5, Ender 3, my Ender 5, my Tronxy X3, my Tronxy XY3, the Tivo Tornado, um, XY2, the Tronxy X2, and have it work on all of them. I mean, all the gantries are pretty much identical. The only ones that aren't are like your Core XY ones here. It would not work on my Ender 5 because the Ender 5 has got the uh, belts routed different. They're routed from on the front and back of the 2020 extrusion instead of top and bottom. But like the X5S has got the belts routed on top. Sapphire Pro has them routed on the bottom, and it's got linear rails. So I'm thinking about doing some modifications to the Sapphire Pro. Raise the hot end up. Maybe do some other dramatic changes, but I'll see. See if I can get a little more print area out of it. It's 235, 235, 235, but I think I can probably get it about 255 to 275 in Z. Then again, I might not bother. I got plenty of other printers to mess with. So far, I have not had an ANET at all. So I've had several Crealities. I've had quite a few Tronxies. We got the one Alpha Wise, the Sobel. Interesting. I said I've never had a ANET or an E10, so. I take it, yeah, the E10 you had, is that the one you took apart or gave away because of the problems with it? I said, Techie Dad knows the E10 pretty good. Like I said, I know he had it. Well, I guess the X5S is doing better than it thought. It's down to 9 hours and 5 minutes left. Printing 41 minutes now. I must have a leak in the Sovel. Got a couple of black specks in my print. That was what it was. I say, I remember you did something with it. John, I'm currently sitting at 23 printers, and there's one table because I really don't have room for it, and I've already got two more on the way. Well, this one will go where the prizes are for the giveaway. And when Techie Dad was here, I gave him 5 printers. I gave my kids, my older kids, printer. I gave a buddy of mine another printer. So, and I've still got one sitting here in brand new box. But since I already got two more of them, I hadn't bothered. And on my next giveaway stream, hopefully next week or so, I'll be giving away a printer. You know, for a direct drive, this Sobel SCO1 handles 150 millimeters a second pretty good. I don't know actually what speed it'll hit on this print, but that's a lot of extra weight to be slinging around in that circle, in that inner circle. So, oh, you got your E10 from Chris Riley, huh? I say I tend to get printers from the manufacturers and say I got GearBest on the AlphaWise U20 Plus. They actually sent me that one. And then I bought the X5S at GearBest and the X3 on eBay and the XY3 on Amazon, XY2 on Amazon, Ender 3s I bought on Facebook. Um, the Sobel um, I got on Facebook. The Sapphire I got on Facebook. I've been getting more of them on Facebook lately through the manufacturers' Facebook groups. I tell you, I wish I lived a little closer to Earth though. I would go if I had a chance to go to something like that. A lot of those other guys are there going. Uh, I think Mr. Buttram was going if he's still around. Just too far for me to go. I mean, I'm 9 hours drive across the Texas border that direction. It's 5 hours to Dallas from here. I think it took Techie Dad like 8 hours to drive here. So, kind of out in the middle of nowhere in the country. Yet in town. You know, one thing I like about these Chichu control boards, they tell you the exact speed that machine is printing at that second. Kind of neat because the X5S here is running at 120 millimeters a second print speed right now. 135. Still at 135. So it's actually got the true print speed on it. And it's got the time used and the remaining time left, along with the temperatures. Well, have a nice night, Michael. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I say I'm kind of munching during the stream here. Oh, okay, Imagination to Form. Nice having you in. Talk to you guys later. So remember, next Wednesday I'll stream again, and probably next Saturday or Sunday I will do the giveaway. Figure the giveaway will be better on the weekend. At least that's my goal if I can get everything set up. No. I'm gonna grab a flashlight. I'm gonna look at this Silval and see where I'm getting the dots. I must have a leak. But it's been fairly well abused already. And I've never done anything to it. It's literally 100% factory. I haven't even opened the hot end assembly up, or the hot end duct up. Okay, group, move out of the way real quick. I think my temp might be a little bit high for this filament. You know what? Let's do it the other way. We'll just speed it up. Why cool it down when you can speed it up? It says 4% done. I say we'll see how things go. I didn't max it out when I tuned it at all, so. And I wasn't running real long prints, so I wouldn't have known if the temperature was too high on this filament. It's been too long since I used it. So. Oh, I'm very happy with this Sobel. Um, I said I'm going to probably do some maintenance on it, make sure the hot end is good later, and I'll tune it for speed. I may eventually change the control board to the Quiet Creality. What is it, 2.2 or something like that, or something like that. But honestly, I don't have a favorite printer. Each one has a purpose. Out of At one time, I had 27 printers. Gave Techie Dad 5 that were projects, and got Sapphire Pro and the Ender. No, I got the Ender 5 in right before he was here, and I've still got at least two more on the way. Um, but each one has its purpose. The Sobel is direct drive. It's my only direct drive, and I really like that. My biggest complaint about it, besides it being a little loud, it's louder than my X5S that's sitting here right beside me as well. Is the bed shape. It's not a square bed, so yeah, it's kind of picky, but I don't like the bed shape on it. It'll be too hard to find a different glass without having just getting a custom cut like I do anyway. But if I want a new lattice glass or magnetic bed, I couldn't do it. The X5S, great printer, a little bit finicky to put together originally, but I got version 3. They're out to version 8 now of the frame. Um, and it's a great printer. I've never maxed out this one for print speed, but since it was the X5S, before I upgraded it to the Chitu control board in X5SA or X5ST, it was 150 millimeters a second print speed, and I left it at that. I'm going to tune for max on it. I figure it'll probably reach 200, 250 millimeters a second print speed. The TiVo Tornado I've got here, I really like because it's got line voltage glass bed from the factory. It's got a little bit of rattle when it moves Y axis. I've got to figure out why and what's causing that. It kind of gives it a little. It doesn't affect the print, but I hear it. Um, the XY3s, I've got the second generation of them, and they're 12 volt, and they're now in 24 volts, so they'll heat up much faster. Um, Good printers. Rebuild the hot ends from the factory. My X3, I don't recommend that to anybody as far as a beginning printer because it's got so many design issues. Um, the Ender 5 Plus seems to be really good. I'm waiting on lead screws because mine were bent. Ender 3, it's a good printer. Really, to me, it's not the biggest deal of printers. Everybody likes to make them out to be the cream of the crop one that everybody should have. I've got two of them now because I gave one away. Still is in the box. um, but they're no different than any of the other printers out. They got a single Z lead axis. The X3 has dual. The XY3, XY2 has singles. TiVo Tornado has single. Um, with eccentric nuts, that's not a big deal to me. Then the X6A is auto leveling. 32-bit control board. Pretty good little printer, solid. The Alpha Wise, very large print area, and actually, so far, out of the box, it has been great. Yes, I am one of the few beta testers of the Ender 5 Plus. I only know of two beta testers for the Ender 5 Plus. It needed, I don't like the location of the um, lead screw on, or lead screw, the extruder on it, because they put it behind the print area. So changing filament is pretty much impossible while you have a print on the bed. So yeah, the Ender 3, it's cheap like the Model T was. That's why everybody loves it. I've got the X5 S400 E2. Um, It's no different than the X5S, other than it's dual color. A little bit finicky to get dual color tuned in. Let's see. Trunksy XY2, same as the XY3. Trunksy X2. If you want one to travel with you, to throw in the car, that one rocks. It's got a handle on top. It's like the Trunksy X1, but with a heated bed and larger print area. And let's see, XY2. Oh, that was an XY3. Ender 3, XY2, the Ultrabot resin printer. That's resin. They're cool as heck, but messy. The Creality CR10 S3 and the SS5, both good printers, but need some upgrades. To me, like they want the Z-axis will wobble a bit, things like that. My S5 is completely been gutted, and I gotta finish putting it back together. I don't have an Ender 2. I have seen them. I believe the X2 and Ender 2 are a lot alike. Um, but if I recall correctly, the pictures of the Ender 2, uh, the control board setup isn't as nice as the X2. The X2 uses the exact same 8-bit control board that the X5S comes with, that I had printing at 150 millimeters a second in a Cartesian, but it's in Cartesian instead of the Core XY, the X5S. So I know that printer is very reliable. The firmware is easy to do. Um, I've got a tutorial on how to flash it without bootloader even on uh my tech site. So Groot's getting awful close. He's almost bumped the back wall, but I put him back further. That's why, unless he moved because of speeds. Ah! Don't pinch your fingers. Starting to get close. Almost pinched my fingers between the bed and the screen. That would not have been good. Yeah, but 110% speed rate on this Sobel, so we'd be at what, 165 millimeters a second print speed? Give it a little bit, and I'll see if it's still getting any black out of it. Which I think it was just dripping a little bit of hot filament. That's all that was. Nice, Craig. Now, didn't you print part of the Queen earlier, Craig, or was that the whole Queen earlier? I seem to remember you doing one. Oh, now, one of the paws came off on Adelina. Didn't stick. Oh well, it's making it. It's just gonna be three at Adelina. Yeah, well, your X3A has been rocking it for a while, so you have it pretty well dialed in. But 100, isn't that a little slower for you? Weren't you up higher, like 130, 150? Or are you doing it slower for the detail? Make sure you get detail in it. Oh, that's what's making the noise. That spool's wanting to catch. No, no pushes. I can't afford them. That's kind of what I figured, Craig. Because I thought she had a lot of really fine detail. But then again, with me, like the Black Panther here, the big one, it was printed at 150. Uh, well, most everything I print, Groot was printed at whatever factory that was. I think it was 90. I pulled the file for it. No, Miss Maker, I cannot afford a Prusa. I don't buy printers at normal retail price most of the time. I paid full price for my X3 and my X5S. I got them both on sale, but they were, Ender 3s. I bought one that was new, two Amazon returns. In the end, I paid like $80 a piece for them. Trunksy, since I'm a Trunksy vendor, I pay wholesale most of the time. Uh, on them if I buy them directly from Trunksy. But like my XY3, I bought it off of Amazon. Um, the X2 I bought directly from, or not, not the XY2, the X2 I bought directly from Tronxy. Um, the Ultrabot was bought directly from Tronxy. The X5S 400 E2 was bought from someone that bought it, decided they didn't want it, still in the box. So, yeah, looks like I got a troll in. Let's see here. There we go. Um, $75 for an Ender 3, really, that is a good price. And you could fix it. Heck, I think the quiet board is $40. Um, the power supply, $20. So really, unless they really messed it up, that's not a bad price. Oh, I see. Got it twisted in there a little funny. But also, one of the things I look at when I buy printers, and the reason I don't have a Prusa is if you look at it, I can buy two or three Enders. I can buy, two or three other printers in place, so it's hard to justify the extra cost. Yes, I would like to try one eventually, but no. Yeah, but you can't ever believe that. Ads most of the time, I wouldn't believe them. Let's see. My X6A was a Amazon return. Had a bent lead screw. Put a new one in it. Good. Techie Dad, you got to remember the Ender 3 only has one Z. Um, and I think I got most of my steppers when I buy them are Like, not even $10 a piece. I got the 90. Yeah, that's what's going on. It's twisted. It's spun in the extruder. Well, the way I look at it, $75. While it may seem like it's a killer deal, it's a good deal. Um, but you could actually build it to working for pretty much brand new for less than it would cost you to buy one new anyway. That's where I look at it. Not the parts value for building another printer, but for fixing that one. If they fried the control board, the power supply, they'd have to destroy all the motors too to make it not cost effective. Well, yeah, John, that's actually, a lot of people ask me how I get support from the manufacturers. I've been working with most of the manufacturers for about 2.5 years now. Um, what I actually started out doing was when I got my X5S, there were some problems that I felt the manufacturers should change. So I wrote them an email. I told them, hey, here's the problems I run into, and here's the fix. And actually, no, I buy my motors on eBay. I don't get them through the manufacturers. It's more expensive for me to buy my motors from the manufacturers than it is to get it on eBay. There's several things like that actually. Um, Bed stickers. If I want to use the Build Talk stickers, I don't use them, but if I did, it's more expensive to get it from the manufacturers than it is off the eBay or uh, AliExpress or one of those places. TechTitan, I don't know. Actually, I believe Techie Daddy was looking at building a full Prusa clone. He just won a frame off a giveaway last week. So he's actually looking at doing it. But Prusa, the thing they got going for them is they actually test every single part together, not individually, together, so they know they work right. They test everything. They can track it down to the nut, the bolt. So I think part of the reason they would be that way is if you use the same thing, it would be non-clone parts, buying Prusa parts from Prusa. That's where you get the higher cost, I would think. I mean, I've got Duet Wi-Fi sitting here and a 7-inch screen for if you look in the background behind the solo print going on, you can see the extrusion sitting there. That's actually a frame for a printer I designed. I've got a MKS MKS SKR 1.3 with a 7-inch screen sitting here for that for my Creale CR10 S5. Really, you can go a lot cheaper if uh if you want to use some good parts too. So in bed. Yeah, and I think that's a big thing too is watching the parts you get. If you get quality clones versus cheap junk clones versus name brand. Um, the hot end I just swapped to on the X5S here is a high end or higher end clone. It's actually got a titanium heat break in it and a brass uh, heat block. It's not even a volcano. It's just a standard E3D clone. It was $20 or $26, but makes it worth it to me. Have a nicer setup and try it. Where I think the E3D, the same thing is like $70. And then what is it? Triangle Labs has a clone that's supposed to be pretty good. Most of my other E3Ds here are just $10, $20 clones comparison. But the thing about also building your own is you don't have to necessarily do it all at once. The parts, like Techie Guys mentioned, if you save enough money to buy all the parts, well, you buy them one at a time. It doesn't seem like it's that much. It may cost you more in the long run, but it doesn't cost you as much up front, or it doesn't feel like it because you're buying $10 part, $40 part, things like that. Yeah, Texite, and that is one of the things about them is they always include the print that they test print it with, and they do, like I said, they can track down to every nut and bolt on it. That way, if they have a bad batch from a manufacturer, they can do it. And I say I've watched quite a few of their tours, and I do understand the cost. Um, I just can't personally justify it. Would I love to have one? Sure, I wouldn't mind having one here in the in the office. And I know several of the companies are working on actually improving because of the way the Prusa does things. But also a lot of it comes to me has to deal with the way that the feedback the companies get as well. A 3D ND maker. If the companies don't really hear back on things that they could actually improve, or something they just hear either nothing at all or complaints, then it's not going to help anybody. But if you have a problem with something and come up with a fix, let the company know. That's what I do. I mean, it doesn't matter what printer it is. If I change something on it, I let them know. Yeah, I say I've got that Ender 5 Plus. I just, they had a few things to me, like when I got it in, the first thing I said was, why did you put the extruder behind the print area? You can't reach it. You have to literally reach through the print area to change filament. You put the spool on the back. So if your bed is halfway down, you can't get the print off, or you can't spool off. So a lot of it to me, that was a problem. Uh-oh. I don't know if YouTube just all locked up or it's just my computer. Um, actually on mine now, the bed will not warp, not the way they've got it built. Um, it comes with metal linear rod bearings. Thing that gets me on it is it's still Cartesian. Why didn't they go Core XY? Hey babe, I was wondering if the internet isn't slow all of a sudden. It's probably because I'm streaming. But to me, the one thing that gets me on the Under 5 Plus, it's still Cartesian. I don't understand why they went Cartesian when they have a nice cube frame. It's like I don't understand why Prusa hasn't put out a cube frame. So I said, not knocking them. I'm just trying to. That's what I was afraid of. It seems to be the videos and stuff seem to be stuttering pretty bad. Wonder why. I think the weather must have got windy or something outside. So, but plus I like finding these smaller companies and giving them ways that can improve the printers. Actually, I want a Delta really bad, and I'm actually in the process of getting several different Deltas. Um, I had a mini Delta that I actually was supposed to be an Ender 3 plus or Ender 3. Amazon returned, but somebody returned a monoprice mini Delta, and it was like run over by a truck and shot and everything. But um, so I didn't bother with it. That's one of the printers I gave to Techie Dad. But Order is putting out a Delta. Trunksy's putting out a Delta, and I think Two Trees Sapphire Company is putting out a Delta as well. So I like getting them a little early stages if I can. Uh, like I said, I the X5S I got version 3. Hey Viking, hey Thomas. Um, the XY2s I got version 2, 1 or 2. On those, my X3 I think I got version 1 on it. The Ender 5 Plus is beta. The Ender 3s, I don't know of any changes they've made to those. The X6S, S6A, I got the first ones. Um, I've got version 1 of the uh, X5S 400 E2. So I've got version 2 of the X2, the very first version of the Ultrabot. Tech Titan, the Core XY is the belt layout and all. You can't have a T shaped like a Prusa style in Core XY because the belts work differently. In a Cartesian, there's one motor driving X, one motor driving Y. In a Core XY, they're driven each uh, at the same time. Like to move straight in X, both motors X and Y move. To move at a 45-degree angle, only one moves. Man, this thing drives me crazy. I can't move the over anymore because of the swivel bed hits it. And actually, of all the printers I've got, I think the Core XY are my favorite to watch because they don't make sense of how they work. Because you'll sit there and watch it going, now how is that doing that? It's making a straight line, moving both motors. And how does it know to move? I'm sorry, John, this stupid thing. I'm going to have to figure out why it's doing it. Nightbot caught this one. Go figure. I don't even know why. Sometimes these bots are a pain. I think it was the amount of talking time, so we'll figure it out. No, well, I don't know if I got emojis turned on or off. And I can't check it from where I'm sitting. Oh no, straight lines are not. Actually, Core XY, you can actually print faster most of the time. It takes some of the workload off. Um, the the way it, I don't know how to explain it. The way it works is you actually get better lines because it's splitting the load and everything between two. Oh yeah, a lot higher print speeds most of the time. Um, I said right now the well Sapphire Pro gets Core XY, and I was printing at 250 millimeters a second on it. Where most of my other Cartesians I can't print above about 150. I mean the Sobel here is printing at 165 millimeters a second right now, um, which is actually pretty incredible for what it is because direct drive, but it's also on a smaller item, so it's probably not hitting, but about 120. And also Core XY, the print head moves in X and Y, and your bed moves in Z normally. Now you can get it where the whole gantry system moves in Z as well. I think the rail core is one of them that does that, or some of the rail cores do, or something. Uh, where Cartesians, the bed is slinging around that print and the extra weight. So the bigger the print, the longer your print, the heavier that gets, the more artifacts you get. No, actually, Michael, it doesn't do that. It kind of seems like it would actually, like you say, step it, and it doesn't because it knows if it needs to move in a diagonal line, it's only moving one. But if it needs to move straight, it knows that it's got to move one half of a step, and the other one step. You know, just as numbers example. It doesn't mean that it's moving one to the other. It actually knows how to move them simultaneously. Let's see here. Trying to think what I've got sitting here that's printed roundish on the X5 here. Well, I mean, here I'll put it on the other. Uh, This was printed on the X5. X5S, sorry. So really, there's as far as quality goes, and this is printed 150 millimeters a second, and this is straight out the printer, so you can see some of the strings I've left. I don't touch them. This is just to see print qualities on it, and it I had some more tuning to do, so I've got a little bit of shadowing here. But this was in the process of tuning. Let's see. Let's just remember what I printed it on. Pretty sure this rose was also printed on the X5S before it was fully tuned. Other than a little bit of stringing and stuff here, this is pretty clear. I'll make sure to get it all the way in the video. So it's impressive what these things can do with the Core XY. Like I said, and to me they're fun to watch. If you let's see here. Okay, now here's a same test showed you earlier, done on a Cartesian. This is actually off the Ender 3. Still some shadowing because my jerking acceleration is a little bit high. But see, I've still got a little other issues on the inside as well. A little bit of over extrusion on the lettering here. You can't make out in the camera, I guess. Um, Stringing up top. Cooling's not quite good enough. And stringing in here. So, but as far as it goes, this is only printed at, I want to say 90 millimeters a second. So, it's not as good. Now, my Ender 3s, I got them up to 120 millimeters a second before I called them done enough print speeds. But all of my uh, Tronxies were at 120 to 150 print speeds. Yep, that was the issue with this Silval. Just checking it. You need to go faster. My hot end temp was a little high for that filament. I forgot that the Area 1 PLAs like to be a little cooler when I sliced it. That was tune was for Pryline. Pryline likes to run between 115 to 118, and Area 1 likes to run between 108 to 110, 112. So I was burning a little bit at 115. Michael, they actually say that you're better off printing them at a 45. I never do. And I've never noticed a loss of it resolution. But realistically, I think that also depends on the control board you have. Um, like all my Core XYs are 32-bit control boards, so they don't have to think as hard, I guess you could say. Um, the Sapphire Pro is the MKS Robin with 2208s. Uh, the Chitus are what our Trunks uses with all pretty much all their touchscreens, and they are 32-bit A4988 drivers. So, but being 32-bit, I've not maxed out a single one of my 32-bit print speeds yet. My 8-bit boards, I've maxed out most of them. Uh, the Ender 3s I have not yet. Well, 120 is about their max. But the rest of mine I haven't really. I haven't even tried to get the TiVo to max yet. A lot of the stuff in my office here I just set up when I built this new office. My old office was 9 foot by 13 foot wide, so um, I have my 4-axis CNC mill in there. I need to find a place down here in the office for it, and my CNC lathe is still up there, but I only had room for about 5 or 6 printers. Originally, I designed it when I only had 2 printers. I thought, well, maybe I'll get a third one, and that'll be plenty for the office. Well, I didn't stay very long. Every time I turn off the lights, I'd go in the next day and have another printer sitting there. I think they breed at night. But no, Michael, I think realistically, a lot of the issues with printing and quality comes to deal with your tune as much as the printer's layout uh, and all this. You really got to take your time and be willing to print. I mean, if you look at back wall of my office here, I've got several different prints I do for tuning, and let's see here. I think I've got. I mean, that's all just part of tuning. You got to be willing to take the time and spend the energy and film it to actually uh Craig, that's probably the guy that I kicked out of chat. There was a racist comment made in chat and I kicked it out of chat. Not the time, the place. And quite frankly, it's a lazy hangout, so oh well. I've got one of my videos that's got 5 thumbs down. It's a fact of YouTube. It's gonna happen. I think it's Walter that says if he doesn't get at least 9. Michael, I'm not sure what you mean. Ah, I think it's Walter that if he doesn't get at least 9 before he even starts, 9 thumbs down, then he didn't have a video. So cool, thanks, Michael. Heck, I appreciate you guys just hanging out with me. Oh yeah, if like I say, the printers they bring no joke. Turn off the lights and go back a week later, and you got a box sitting there. There for a while, it was one a week for me, one a month. So, but I'm fortunate. Like I say this is where I spend my hobby money, Now, a lot of people will, you know, they'll drink or they'll race cars or they'll, you know, everybody's got to have a money hobby, a money pit hobby, and this is mine. So, I mean, I didn't start YouTube until people asked me to a lot, and started my tech site, Customized 3D, because people asked me to. And then I started the store, Customized 3D.biz, because people are asking me to. So that, and I enjoy this stuff. Figure why not try to help teach people. I mean, see, Craig spent many hours on the phone and messaging with me. Techie Dad has. So, yeah, Michael, I understand that. Been fortunate that my medical bills are covered. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to eat. And I've been debt free for about 15 years. So, man, that thing's driving me crazy. Ticket. I need to put one of the other dry boxes over here with a Bowden on it because it twisted at the filament out sensor. But no, and I live in a very low cost of income or low cost of living area. So it's enabled me a few more pleasures in life. But like I say, if I want to go out to the movies, it's 2.5 hour drive one way. So don't do that very often. I think I've done it like once in the last 2 years. Well, Michael, that's sometimes the way things go. I mean, you get, got to spoil yourself every once in a while, and she chose to spoil you this time. So later on, you remember to spoil her back. That's kind of the way it works with my wife and I. She's got like I said, her craft room is right above this office here, and she's got sewing machines and embroidery and all that stuff up there. So, now see, I don't do movies, but once every 2 to 3 years. Um, I see. I know I saw Suicide Squad in the theater, and I don't think I've seen one since. I saw the Suicide Squad in Branson, Missouri, in a 121-foot wide screen. So that was impressive because my wife's work gave us a uh, vacation over there. We went over there for, I think it's 3 days. They had a resort timeshare. Boy, it's going through filament, isn't it? You're lucky to finish this print with this spool. Oh yeah, it's gonna be really lucky if that finishes that print. But I say I also work two jobs, so I don't watch. I have the TV going a lot, but it's background noise. I've got Netflix and the wife's got Hulu account. Other than that, I don't even have TV. I don't sleep much. That's why I've got those. Um, I've actually gotten better at getting sleep again finally, but I went 9 years. Hey, Mr. Mushroom, you didn't miss much. Came back just in time for me to about say goodbye. So we're just BSing about printers and movies and life. Got two printers going now. I went ahead and started my X5S printing an Adelina, three-legged Adelina, because one of the feet didn't stick. It came loose, but I let it run anyway. I haven't watched Shameless. I watch Netflix. Some of my favorites are like Blacklist. Love that show. Um, and I watched NCIS. Let's see, what other ones is it? Limitless. Most of the shows I just keep going. Oh, that's cool, Mr. Retrum. What filaments are you or what filament sample are you running right now? I'm running the Moon City is Area One White PLA, and Adelina is Yellow Praline PLA. The Limitless movie is actually the prequel to the show, Michael. Um, I actually watched the movie after the show. I tend to like the shows that the main character is kind of a, a jerk. Limitless, the show, main guy is, kind of a unruly guy. So, color changing, is it UV or heat or what kind of color changing? Greg, I haven't used Hatchbox Orange. I've got Trunk Pryline Orange I've been using. Back the other way. Pryline Orange. Boy, the lighting makes it terrible looking, color wise. A lot brighter than it looks in the picture. Okay, see, those are cool, the temperature sensitive ones. I have not tried any temperature changing filaments. Heck, I actually hadn't done a whole lot of color shifting ones. I went through 2.5 spools of A1 Rainbow. I did the, probably can't see these very well picture in the video, but I'll show you. I did the heart lids. Those are color changing. I did those heart lids in Rainbow. I did the Big Moon City in almost 2 spools, and then I've used the Lagoon bow that I really like um, on the big Adelina. Everybody's pretty much seen. I'll switch cameras here. This Adelina That's Area 1 Lagoon Boat. And it changes, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. She's massive. And then their steampunk, I've done the Game of Thrones dragon in the dragon egg. Um, that's the only other color change style I've used. I haven't used any of the others. Heck, I haven't even really used the carbon fiber filaments I've got. I've got 3 spools of carbon fiber up here to use. I haven't even used yet. So I've used wood additive filament. Other than that, oh, marble. I've used, I think, 4 spools of marble. The Lagoon Bow is really cool. I like it because it's darker. It's not bright rainbowy rainbow. The steampunk is not bad. I'd like it if the colors were actually a little more, I don't know, a little brighter almost. Well, Mr. Buttram, I know who to talk to on that if you need. Yeah, Craig, that's Adelina. I print a lot of her. This is just the biggest one I've ever printed. And it's the same as all the other ones sitting up here. Pryline, purple PLA. That's 100% scale. So, almost looks like you could step on it. But anyway, guys, it's after 9 o'clock. It's 9:06. I'm actually going to get off here and finish some dinner. So, if you haven't done so, please give me a thumbs up and like, subscribe, and hit the bell for the videos reminder when I start streaming or something again. I'm going to try to do this every Wednesday, 6 to 9. So, everybody have a good night, and we will see everybody next week. Yeah, Brian, it's been 3 hours, so everybody have a good night.